BC's environment is changing dramatically. Wildfires are significantly impacting 3 key areas. Much of the vegetation on the ground is being killed by the flames.
The soil for a short period of time becomes more like a concrete surface.
Forester Bruce Blackwell says healthy trees and roots usually suck up the moisture when it rains. But after wildfire, the water has nowhere to go.
And that's where you're seeing these debris flows and mudslides.
Over time, the landscape could change entirely, with trees replaced by shrubs and grasses. No tree cover means more snow on the ground in the winter.
All of that snow goes into our creeks and rivers, and so we tend to see changes in the hydrologic cycle depending upon how much of the vegetation is disturbed.
Deborah Harford has been studying the impacts of wildfires and says there's a trickle-down effect.
It ends up affecting human health.
After the vegetation dies and mudslides happen, water can become contaminated.
Water gets full of sediment and debris, so that combined with contaminants like toxins and pollutants is really bad for aquatic species. But it's obviously also bad for human health and poses challenges for our drinking water.
The thick smoke across Western Canada poses obvious health risks, but there's more.
Trees are using carbon dioxide, like all plants, to create oxygen, so they're filtering the air.
Without them, a vicious cycle begins, according to Harford.
There's less cooling, less air filtering, less shade for species, and actually increases heat, which was what was causing the wildfires in the first place.
Wildfires are usually a necessary part of the regeneration cycle, but as they become so frequent and fierce, their long-term toll isn't fully clear. Anita Bath, CBC News, Vancouver.
Okay, let's bring in the CBC meteorologist, Johanna Wagstaffe, to talk about some of those long-term effects, because that's a big concern here too, Johanna, that these fires are contributing to climate change.
Absolutely, Rosie. In fact, forests play a huge critical role in capturing carbon, actually taking in more greenhouse gases than they emit. So when those forests actually burn, they're re-releasing that carbon back into the atmosphere. Now, it'll be some time before we get the official numbers from this year, but last year's record fire season in BC led to a triple our annual carbon emissions here in BC. Now, I should mention that those numbers right now aren't included in provincial carbon inventories, but this is part of a climate feedback loop. The more forest fires are burning, the more carbon gets released, and the more accelerating of climate change is happening.
So, yeah, you say that it affects climate change, but climate change is also, I guess, fueling forest fires as well.
That's right. We know that already our summers are longer, hotter, and drier, but new research this week actually suggests that a warming climate is leading to more stalled out summer weather patterns. Our jet stream is undulating more because the Arctic's actually warming 2 to 4 times faster than the rest of the Earth, so that temperature difference is causing the jet stream to slow down and leading to these high pressure systems stalling out, leading to longer, hotter droughts and extreme weather. And that's what we've been seeing around the world, in fact, this summer with heat waves and forest fires, Rosie.
Okay. Johanna, thanks for that. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.